Okay, welcome back.
Yeah.
We are jumping back into Zelda. David has gotten the Master Sword. You were trying to go fight. You want to go to your house because you're trying to save the princess. Remember, she got disintegrated last time
Yeah.
because Agnim, I can never remember how to say his name. Essentially, sent her to the Shadow Realm.
Not the Shadow Realm.
That's where the villains always send people, the Shadow Realm. It's been like a week since David's played, so he has to kind of remember how to play.
I think it's been longer than that.
Yeah. So, something David and I were talking about before the stream recording, is both of us live in an area where our NFL team is not broadcast, because they are not the local team. And we've been pretty much complaining about DirecTV. That's all I want to say. We were complaining about DirecTV because for us to get our NFL games, neither of us is eligible for Sunday Ticket because you have to either have a home that cannot have it installed, like a satellite dish for a DirecTV package, or you have to get DirecTV. So you either have to get a DirecTV for your cable services, or you have to have a house that cannot get DirecTV, in which case then you can stream just Sunday Ticket. We're talking about how it's dumb in 2019, a world in which streaming is the standard.
Yeah.
No one can just sign up for DirecTV. Like the NFL Sunday Ticket.
Yeah.
Do you remember where you're going?
No.
You want to go to the outside balcony? I figured you didn't know where you were going because you weren't talking about how stupid not the NFL, but DirecTV is.
Yeah, I was momentarily focused.
You want to go down a room, and then up in that room, or outside and up. So you can follow that down and around through that door, and then you'll go up and outside.
Alright. But yeah, that's really my only gripe, because as somebody who had DirecTV for a long time, I have no actual complaints with them, as far as a cable company goes.
I have a few, but I've never personally owned them. I've had family members who have, and they had issues that didn't really impact them too much, but I know if I had them as my provider, it would have bothered me. You're going the wrong way. Go to the left.
Yeah, the middle,
But I'm happy with cable. I don't want satellite, especially because we live in a location with a lot of thunderstorms and hurricanes.
Well, that's the main thing is it's really just a matter of where they put your dish. Because when we first had it, we had a problem where, it would cut out from time to time, or there'd be issues. If it snowed, the dish would fill up and things would cut out.
Yeah.
Then the guy came out to check it.
Did he move it literally half an inch?
Pretty much just moved it slightly, and it just turned out that where the guy originally put it was kind of facing a bunch of trees. So it was just kind of affecting it just enough.
It bothers it.
After he moved it, it never once cut out. No matter how bad the storm was, nothing, it always stayed on.
That's the thing about technology that bothers me, is you can have, and it's from growing up even in the bunny ears technology. So for those of you who don't know what the bunny ears technology is back before cable was a thing. Television had antenna that essentially we called bunny ears because you had two little pieces of metal sticking up from the back of your TV. If they even had metal. I had a TV at one point that just had wires. And you would have to move the bunny ears to... in fact, future me, go ahead and put in a picture of...
that ancient technology.
What a bunny ears TV looks like. Because I'm sure some of you know, and regardless of your age, some of you know, but some of you might not. It's so antiquated at this point. Most people got rid of bunny ears by the time, 2000 and something. 2 or 3. Because cable just became the norm, the standard. Oh, that guy's messing you up.
Oh.
You should have boomeranged him.
Yeah. I still had my lantern equipped.
So let me go ahead and make a note real quick. But yeah, so link to the past eat. But yeah, so that's something that has always bothered me about certain pieces of technology where like the half-inch margin makes a difference. Not even a half-inch, like that centimeter difference. Because that's what bothered me growing up with bunny ears antennas was it's like you had to move it. And
Yeah,
it was the smallest little thing just to get the picture slightly clearer.
Yeah. Oop.
And, you know, if somebody in the room moved, it would cause it to freak out. And I was like, that bothered me growing up. So when it comes to satellite TV, that's something that still scares me because I hated that growing up in the 90s. And knowing that a satellite dish will work based off of a half-inch turn.
Yeah. So that's kind of really what it came down to was like, if the person puts it in the right spot when they first install it,
you'll have no issues.
Yeah. Like, we had severe downpours, like, during the hurricane one year, never went out.
How is he not dying? Your sword is literally hitting him in the face.
Ah!
Remember, your boomerang does freeze enemies. And damages them a little bit. Utilizing your boomerang will probably be a much better help than trying to hit people with the lantern.
Probably.
And you can freeze multiple people at once. But no, so we were complaining because David's is a Dolphins fan, and I'm a Titans fan, and we live in an area that does not broadcast neither the Dolphins nor the Titans. And so we wanted to get DirecTV's Sunday Ticket so we can watch our games together before we stream, like record, or during D&D or something. Which we've done in the past, but now life changes has caused us to not do so. And it sucks.
Yeah.
Because you can't get it through Hulu, you can't get it through Amazon, you only can get it through DirecTV. Even live television, which I have, doesn't help us because we don't live in the area where they broadcast those games. So we're stuck pretty much going to be watching the highlights or using the ESPN app to get updates as the games go on.
Pretty much. So...
Do-do-do.
And yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at as far as, like, I don't personally have an issue with DirecTV, but I have just an overall issue with cable in general.
Well, and we were saying...
it's just, quite frankly, not worth it anymore.
It's not. It's really not. Not with Hulu and everything, but then Hulu, something like this happens, and you're like, well...
Yeah, because they want to charge a fortune and constantly take away channels or leave you with channels that nobody actually wants.
Yeah.
And then the longer you're with the cable company, the more they charge you, as opposed to the other way around.
Yeah, unlike your insurance, like you have a loyalty discount. No, cable's like your loyalty discount goes in the positive as opposed to the negative.
Yep.
You remember what you gotta do?
Vaguely. I remember I gotta hit things at him and then watch out for some kind of that. I was like, I know there's something he does I gotta watch out for.
He does two ball attacks. He does the... Oh, watch out. Okay, that wasn't it. Sometimes if he goes dead center, like right now, he's not following it, is gonna be...
That. That's the other one.
Yeah, the blue orbs you can technically block with your shield. That one is the one you have to reflect. Then the lightning, of course, messes you up. Oh, you can block the individual balls, I guess. You can't block. Did we get you health potions?
I don't actually remember.
I feel like we did.
I thought so too, to kind of make this go easier.
Check your items. Yeah, we did.
Alright.
Yeah, we got you 3, so you are...
Nice.
Good to go. Yeah, I would say if you get hit one more time to... You got hit, you should use it.
Oh, I was just going to...
It won't auto-use, you have to use it.
Oh, I was just going to accept my fate and try again.
Yeah, but you'll have to make your way all the way back here.
Yeah.
As opposed to...
Oh, I gotta actually...
You have to use it like an item and now switch back to whatever you want. Yeah, because it's just such a run
to
get here. Yeah, only the orbs hurt him. But no, when it comes to the NFL and stuff, it's like, the NFL wants to make money. They want to play the games in a way that they can show it to people. Because they always yell at you if you record the games. This is copywritten by the NFL. Any would be subject to penalty. Brr, 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 brr. So it's like, I'm going to have to watch other people's games to watch the ticker at the bottom of the screen update me about my game.
The old school way.
Yeah. It's like I'm living in the 90s. Again.
That was the other thing I hated is I used to, like when I wasn't able to watch it, I used to be able to go to... Oh, he actually... Damn it.
Yeah, if he rotates, he's gonna definitely orb you.
Yep, I noticed at the last second. Oh. I used to be able to, like, when I couldn't watch the game, go to, like, the website and actually listen to the, broadcast from down there. Like, if you were listening to it on the radio, so forth. But in recent years, it seems they stopped doing that, too, so...
You can't even listen to the radio broadcast anymore?
At least not on the website. I'm sure there's other ways to get to, like, the radio broadcasts, but...
That's dumb.
Yeah, but it was like I used to be able to have, like, the stats and stuff pulled up and at least listen to the, Oops. I walked right into that.
Yeah, you did. Well, it's like... Roar! Oh. Well met! Like the true hero that you are, but I am not ready to admit defeat yet. I will draw you into the dark world.
No! You can't draw me in if I run around like this. Oh god, yes you can. Damn you, it's so bright in this dark world.
Marty, it is I, Shahershalar. I am communicating to you across the void through telepathy. The place where you now stand is, or was, I think is, I grew up there, was the Golden Land. But evil power has turned it into the Dark World. The wizard has broken the wise men's seal and opened a gate to link the worlds at Hyrule Castle. In order to save this half of the world, the light world, fuck the dark world, you must win back the golden power. You must also rescue the 7 maidens who Agdim sent to the Dark World. I wonder if Princess Zelda's one of them. Also, if you see Susie, tell me she owes me $5. No, wait. Tell her. Don't tell me, I know this. As members of the bloodline of the 7 wise men, they have power that will surely help you. The maidens are locked in hidden dungeons full of evil creatures and dangerous traps, like Target or Walmart. The Palace of Darkness should be your first goal in this world. Mighty, I can rely on only you, because you're there. Please make this old man's wishes come true. I beg you.
Okay, I thought he died.
Shaharshala?
Yeah.
No, the Shaharshala is the guy who gave you your boots. The priest.
It was the priest.
Died.
Okay, I was like, I know some old man died.
So turn on your map. So the world is the same, but discolored. The dungeons are different. You'll notice there are some different things. So you'll see the desert in the corner is not a desert anymore. It's actually a swamp.
I see.
But yeah, pretty much everything else is the same because the dark world is just like a mirrored reflection of the light world.
Yeah, I'm in the upside down.
Pretty much.
Only it's much sunnier.
And Hyrule Castle's a pyramid. This is where the real Link to the Past kind of begins. Like, everything up to getting the Master Sword is kind of like your slow introduction and like the... What's it called? The, It didn't work, David.
I can't do it.
The Temple of Hera, where the last big temple you were in, is kind of like your first foray into real dungeons in this game. And now that you're in the Dark World, it's like an even, like, well, now you're really in the game.
Yeah, I kind of figured, just based off the fact he's like, rescue the 7 princesses, and get this, and this.
Well, so the golden power is the Triforce. That's the you beat the final boss, you get the Triforce.
Yeah.
So the rest of the game will be the 7 maidens and then the final boss.
Yeah.
So you have 7 dungeons and then the boss.
Yeah, so it's like it's very much more to do this time around as opposed to just...
Yeah, and this game very much is what sets the tone for future Zelda games all the way up until Breath of the Wild, pretty much. Because, like, the first Zelda game, you had 7 dungeons and then the final boss. Like, it was just 7 dungeons. The second Zelda game is completely different, but you have a handful of dungeons and then the final boss. This game was, you have to get the 3 pendants to get the sword, to go to the 7 temples, to then beat the game. You want to know how Ocarina of Time works? You have to get the 3 pendants to get the Master Sword, to go to the 7 dungeons, to beat the game.
I'm sensing a theme.
Pretty much every game after that did something similar, where you have to do X amount of dungeons to go to get a sword, and then to go do X amount of dungeons. Surprisingly, Majora's Mask, which comes right after Ocarina of Time, didn't do this. There are only 4 dungeons in Majora's Mask, but there's a 3-day timer that you constantly have to reset because the moon is falling to destroy the Earth. It's a very dark game, but it's really fun.
Alright.
I think artistically you'd like that game a lot.
I'd imagine as such. Die, evil... mouse? Thingy? Land shark. I just want to know who gave all these people in the Dark World bombs.
My sister messaged me about the NFL thing. You know, so those of you who have siblings. My sister has the NFL thing through Hulu, and she's telling me what it is. And yeah, it's exactly what we thought it would be.
Yeah, local games.
I think. I don't know. It's weird. Watching football should not be this hard. Because apparently, she's saying, because my sister has this, everybody. My sister has Hulu with the football thing. She says you just add your team to your list, and then anytime your team plays, it gets recorded. But again, well, not again for you all listening, but I told David this, but for those of you listening, my sister is a Patriots fan, which means that no matter where she lives in the country, her games are being broadcast. David and I are Dolphins and Titans fans, which means our teams currently suck. So they will not be broadcast across the country every week.
Nope.
We might just have to go to sports bars. Are there any sports bars you like? I'm not a big fan of sports bars.
Can't say I've never,
I've gone to AJ Gators quite a bit. We could always go to the one... So there's... For those of you who don't live where we live, because we haven't told you all, there is a sports bar nearby that is a Cleveland Browns, and we live nowhere near Cleveland, mind you, a Cleveland Browns home AJ Gators bar.
Yeah, which is quite surprising.
Yeah, but the food they sell there is actually pretty good. Like, outside of regular AJ Gators, just bar food fare, they sell some stuff that's like Ohio.
Though, if there was a year to go to a Cleveland Browns bar, I guess this would be it.
Because they're on the upswing?
They should be, unless, you know, they do what the Cleveland Browns do.
I was actually at that bar, the Cleveland Browns home bar, when they broke their losing streak. That weekend, I was there, and any other weekend I'd gone to that bar, because it was by where I used to live, they would get excited for anything. Because they never scored touchdowns. If they scored a touchdown, it was a riot. Yeah. Like an actual riot. But if they got a first down, everybody freaked out like they got a touchdown. They're like, it's a Cleveland Browns first down! Like, they had got a mic, like, announcing it to the bar, and everybody was so excited. And there I am as a Titans fan, like, woo! Touchdown! Mariota! And they're like, first down! We got a fucking first down! So excited.
That's just hilarious.
But then when they won, people were like crying. Like, they were so excited. Because it had been like 2 years since they had just won a game.
Because I know just from high school when it looked like Miami was going to lose every game of the year. And then they finally won one, like right near the end. So I could not imagine 2 years of just constant loss.
Yeah. They were super excited, but they sell this like, it's like a roll split in half that's buttered, and then it's got like a char-grilled sausage in it with like baseball park spicy brown mustard. And it's really good. Yeah, if we were to go to that bar, I would order it because it's like $8. And I'm like, I am perfectly fine paying $8 for that to go watch the football game. So yeah, if we want to go to a place, I would say that. Then again, there is a bar literally 2 blocks from here that's a sports bar, and they sell decent food. I don't know how they are exactly on Sundays as far as Sunday ticket goes, but you can't go wrong with the Browns bar, because at least then they don't hate me or you.
True.
They're just happy that the Browns are doing something, and they don't hate us because we're not their rivals.
Yep.
In fact, they'll probably have sympathy for you, Mr. Dolphins fan. Did you figure out where to go yet? Seems like you're kind of lost.
Just a little bit. Oops.
You were starting to figure it out, I think. Maybe a bit. Un taquito?
Just a bit, maybe. I don't know. We'll find out.
Well, at least it's not a far run to there.
Yeah, it's just a lot of things that hit. But kind of what you would expect at this point in the game.
Yeah, everything hits really hard. Luckily, there are tunics that you will get later that will up your defense a bit. But yeah, everything hits really hard.
Yeah, that's been the main thing I have noticed is just a handful of hits and it's like, I'm down.
Yeah. Just gotta be careful. Luckily, you do have 2 health potions left, but you might want to save those for the dungeon.
Yeah, I was like, I don't really want to use them right now. And
So I'll give you a hint. Where you were, where the ground looked like an arrow, that is the correct spot. You do have to go from that location somewhere else. So you are at least in the correct area.
Alrighty.
And at least I got you the red shield. Some people get here and they still have the blue shield. Which, doesn't block anything. Well, it does, but it's so small.
Yeah, it really goes against the point of a shield.
Burpity burpity burp.
So, got once again a reminder of just how much Elder Scrolls.
Oh no, what'd you do?
It's just how much it seems like they design things purely based off the fact that they expect that nobody's gonna read anything.
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. I haven't read anything. Oh wait, are you talking about ESO?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were talking about the main games, because I'm like, that surprises me, because I know they take a lot of pride in the books they put in the game.
Yeah.
But you mean ESO. Yeah, ESO definitely has some problems with the things of people not reading. So David has played this game for a while, and I need to get back into it now that my school semester has started, because I've been busy getting everything else ready.
Especially since you're the one who got me...
I'm the one that got you back into it, and I'm still paying for ESO Plus, and you're leaving me behind as far as levels go.
At least with one character. The other one's only like level 14.
Well, I've done the...
Is that where I needed to go?
No, I haven't been in here in a while.
It's a tree.
You're new here, aren't you? Did you come here looking for the golden power?
How did you know?
Well, you're too late.
Oh.
It's mine. No, it'll only obey the first person who touches it.
Well, then how am I too late?
The man who last claimed the power of gold wished for this world. It reflects his heart. Yes, I came here for greed for the golden power, and look what happened to me. I got wood. That was like slightly Jerry Seinfeld. I got wood. I don't want to be a tree. To restore the golden plant, A person worthy of the golden power must defeat the man who created this place. Until that time, I'm stuck in this bizarre shape. But what a mischievous thing to leave lying around. The power of gold. Triforce.
Wow, man, that...
Try something for me.
Yeah.
Run head first into the crack in the wall. I never knew that until this week.
Interesting.
I was watching a speed run and I saw them doing it and I was like, what? I thought you always had to use bombs.
That is good to know.
I never knew that till this week, and you just tested it for me and it worked.
Yep. Now I no longer have to waste bombs.
I've been playing this game since '97. I've been playing this game for 22 years, and wow, that is a statement. And I never knew that. 22 years I've been playing this game. I've been playing this game longer than some people have been alive.
Yeah. It's really, it's crazy to think of things like that sometimes.
That just hurts me a little bit. 22 years. Did you figure it out? Looks like you are testing. Come on, David. I figured this out when I was 7.
But were you doing other things, or were you focused purely on the game?
I mean, I was doing cocaine. I mean... no, I was just playing the game.
As you do when you're 7.
Do not do cocaine. Drink Coca-Cola. Not sponsored.
But yeah.
Coca-Cola would be delicious.
Like I was saying, though, so I had I've been doing the next set of, like, the...
Oh yeah, because I didn't finish the idea that David's been playing this game and there's just these story missions that make no sense. Like, your character should feasibly be able... You're going the wrong way. Your character should feasibly be able to realize this and talk to somebody else, but then they can't.
Yep. So I had one, it was like I'm going through the next set of the... Whatchamacallit? Just like the story... Like the Covenant quest.
And when I jump back into... I don't have to do the Covenant quests because I've done... different Covenant quests before, like all the way through. So I can go do, like, I think I've done Ebonheart Pact all the way through, so we can jump into DLC together when I jump in.
Which would be good.
I have to still do Orsinium, which I know you've already started.
Yeah, but
I can catch up on that pretty quick.
I still have, like I said, I've only, for as long as I've been in there, it's only been, 4 story missions so far.
Right. So anyway, so you're playing the game.
Yep.
You're doing the Covenant quest.
Yep. So it's the, it's actually the not Ebonheart, the whatchamacallit, the other one.
I'm Kiki the monkey. Kiki. I love rupees more than anything. Can you spare me 10 rupees? I'll pay you back. I really gotta catch the bus.
Sure.
Kiki, Kiki, Kiki. Good choice. I will accompany you for a while. Kiki, 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 Kiki.
Cool, thanks, man.
Kitty. Stab.
But yeah, so I'm kind of going through, doing work for the Queen, trying to stop all the racist tiles that
just exist in Elder Scrolls.
Yeah. And there's a point where it's like you get to the university where they're trying to break the Wood Elves and the Khajiit to be the Thalmor way, and
okay, indoctrination. Sure.
Yep. So you run into a Wood Elf who asks you to, like, see what the university's really like. So you're running around, they, like, tell you to, like, talk to some of the teachers, stuff like that, and you find this journal that is part of another quest I was doing.
Uh-huh.
Like, you're, like, tracking down agents of the people that are going against the Queen.
Uh-huh.
And it literally states in this letter how the person currently running the university was put there by by this group to kind of oppose the Queen and kind of break the other races, and then you just completely ignore the fact that you just read that and don't do anything about it until one of the Khajiit gets killed and somebody else tells you, like, no, they're working with so-and-so. Like, it's like, I know, I just read it.
They do that.
I could have walked up to him in his office right then and there and been like...
They do that all the time, though. Like, oh, so...
Kiki.
Yo, I can hit that switch for you. Want me to fucking hit the switch? I'll pay you. Oh, yeah, sure. So you need 110 rupees just to get into this dungeon?
Oh.
Because you pay him 10 to follow you, and then 100 to jump on the Switch.
God, that's an easy. That man's got quite the hustle going.
He does, yeah. He makes good. So welcome to the first dungeon in the Dark World.
Woo!
But no, they do that all the time, and some video games are worse about it than others, and some are pretty good at fixing that. Like regular Elder Scrolls is pretty okay about that.
Yeah.
ESO, they will just leave a note on a table in public and it'll be like, I'm planning to murder the queen.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, who's trying to do this? Who's trying to murder the queen? It's like, it's literally the shadiest guy here who has the note on his table saying he's gonna do it.
Yeah.
And at least that's how base game Elder Scrolls Online is.
Yeah.
Later installments do a much better job, but the base game was always something people complained about.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm excited to get to the DLC as opposed to doing
Same.
the Covenant missions. Like, I don't care too much about doing the Covenant missions in order because I know how it plans out, but I do want to do the DLC in order when we get there. Remember what those can happen with the magic dust? Or have you not used the magic dust?
I don't think I've used the...
David, I didn't know you hadn't used the magic dust. I just spoiled something for you. Oh, you haven't picked up your magic dust because she was still working on it.
Oh, yeah.
Mighty, can you hear me? Oh, no, wait. Mighty. I can't. You do Zelda's voice. I'm doing every fucking voice. You do Zelda's voice.
Well, I'm the hero.
Alright, fine. I'll be Zelda. Mighty, can you hear me? It's me, Zelda. I'm locked in Turtle Rock on top of Death Mountain.
Oh, okay.
I know what I know you are doing your best, but please hurry. Like, could you get here yesterday? Kind of a long journey, but I've been here like 4 hours and I'm really bored. Alright, bye. So, yeah, when you get the magic powder, you can turn those red things into fairies and catch them.
Interesting.
But you don't have the magic powder, so... yeah. Ah! Oh no! Bad Shahershale. There's literally one rock in direction you have not pushed.
Yeah, it kind of dawned on me. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, Alright, well at least you know that Zelda's alive. She's in Turtle Rock.
Yeah.
On the top of Death Mountain.
Yep. I don't know where that is, but I can figure it out eventually.
Well, Death Mountain, I told you this already. Death Mountain's the place where the Temple of Hera was in the Light World. But Turtle Rock is in the Dark World. So she's on top of that same mountain. But in the Dark World. Yeah, because I had told you the name already.
Ah!
Oh no!
I was like, I knew I didn't trust you guys.
Get that chest.
I got a key!
Quietly. Ah! Alright. Does this one move? No, that one does not move.
Yeah, I tried.
Ha! 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 I had David close the door, so I took over for 10 seconds. But yeah. Some video games do that. So I was playing Mass Effect 2 last night for the first time in a long time. But have you ever played those games, the Mass Effect games?
A little bit of them, but I've never
bit?
really played them enough to actually like beat anything.
2 is my favorite. 3 gets some crap because the ending was bad for some people. I will say the original ending without the epilogue was bad, but then they added an epilogue, and I was okay with it once they added the epilogue, because originally the game just ended. Like, it didn't tell you what happened with all your choices, it didn't tell you how your choices impacted the galaxy as a whole for, like, anything. The game just ended.
Yeah, that's a little,
So they added the epilogue to kind of tell you, like, oh, well, so this is the choice you made, and this is what happened in the in the galaxy over like the next 5 years. Yeah, and I was like, that works better.
Kind of what you want to know after spending 3 games making a bunch of choices and
Well, and that's the thing. So the end game comes down to 3 final choices, and without the epilogue, you don't know really what the difference between those 3 choices was. Like, you kind of see it, but you messed up.
yeah.
Or did you, David? Remember how the Temple of Hera worked. That's all I'll say. But it was nice to get the epilogue to see how your choices actually impact the galaxy as a whole. But in my opinion, 2 is still the best because 2 was very cinematic, and it felt like a heist movie in a way, and it was just like a heist sci-fi action film. It was a lot of fun. I loved 2 a lot. So I was playing 2 last night, and I forgot how good that game was. But something that game does is they don't mess that up. The Elder Scrolls thing of, like, you find a document and you're like, oh, well, now you can't talk to blah, blah, blah. No, like, you find the thing and you're like, well, now if I talk to blah, 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 it actually pops up as a dialogue option, which is great. And Dragon Age has always done a good job of that, too. The BioWare games just kind of have. But...
Oops.
That's fine. At least you fell in a place where it's okay.
Okay.
And you found a thing. You found a key.
And a bunch of skeletons who are throwing their skulls at me. I don't like this.
Yep. Welcome to Zelda. At least the skulls got bored and went for
I know.
a beer or something.
They're like, fine, he ran away. Come on, guys. Oh, I'm back here.
Yep. There you go. But no, I forgot how fun that game is. It's a really fun game, and it holds up. That game is like 10 years old at this point, I think.
It's definitely,
It's up there now.
Yeah. So, then the other thing kind of had, once again, kind of reconfirmed was just how much, because I played more a little bit last night. It was kind of a reminder of just how much they don't really give you a whole lot of options for, like, doing evil things.
They really don't. Not like, your choices are very much in, like, do you want to be a good guy or do you want to be kind of neutral evil?
Yeah.
It's not even like a real evil.
Yeah, so it was like yesterday I had an option where like I could do something that was pretty shady, but then immediately afterwards the guy's brother's like, this was really messed up. I didn't know this is what he was planning. Go stop him. It's like, no, I agree.
Yeah, you choose to do the bad thing, and then they try to get you to correct it through another plot line.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I wanted to do the bad thing with this character.
I wanted to turn the village into zombies. I will say that's what I did like about stuff like Mass Effect and Dragon Age, is like, when you're evil, you're evil.
Yeah.
But even then, it's not always evil, right?
Yeah.
Because, like, sometimes Renegade isn't evil, it's, like, sarcastic or cocky. And I will say, that's what I liked about Dragon Age 2 and 3, is the way that they kind of fixed how you can have inflection in your dialogue trees. Because the original games, you would do something, and it would be this idea of, well, I don't know, is this going to be... You pick an option, and the next thing you know, it's not passive anymore.
Yeah.
You're like, it sounds the most passive, but then you click it, and the voice actor's like, wow, you're a dick. And I'm like, why didn't me? I wanted you to be like, ha, you're a dick. Like, funny. Like, we're playing banterly. But you're like, fuck you. I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, that does get me. Or, like, when you see, like, the dialogue options, and then what you click is not at all what they say.
Yeah, I liked it.
Like, at least have it somewhat similar to what he's going to say, so I know exactly what it is I'm, about to respond with here.
I like that Mass Effect 3 and Dragon Age 2 and 3 kind of fixed that a bit, because you can see, like, it's supposed to be funny, or it's supposed to be, like, good or bad or whatever. But no, the Renegade thing, like, you're not always evil. Like, one of my favorite moments in Mass Effect 2, I think? It could be 3. It might be 2.
Oh, good.
Yeah, you have to leave the room, come back. It's not invisible, it's actually gone.
Oh,
I didn't want the rupee to confuse you.
No, I was kind of waiting for, I hadn't realized. Oops.
Yeah, it's on a timer.
I hadn't realized that it had spawned me back in the doorway, so I thought it was like waiting until the floor stopped.
Like, it's literally on a room timer. So you have to leave and then come back to reset the timer and everything. But no, one of my choices, you're trying to do something with agenda phase, which is why I think it might be 2, but it could be 3. And you go in, and there's these mercs who are essentially going to lead to this huge shootout in the game, because they've stolen these chemicals and they're going to release the virus or whatever it is, and you're trying to decide what to do. And they kept killing me. I kept picking the Paragon option over and over and over again to be good, and they kept killing me over and over and over again. And so what I did was I got so frustrated and so sick of them killing me because I picked the good option. Because by picking the good option, you essentially fail at negotiations and enter into a firefight. And it's a firefight with 30 people.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating. So I picked the renegade option, which is not necessarily the evil option. It's more like the cocky option, or the badass option, or the slightly dickish option.
Yeah.
And so there I am, frustrated, pissed off that they keep killing me, and so I pick the renegade option. And so Shepard, who I played as Girl Shepard, so she pulls out her pistol, in the middle of talking, negotiations. She pulls the pistol out, shoots the explosive barrels next to their leader, and just blows up 10 people, killing the leader. And then we enter the firefight, and I'm only fighting 10 people as opposed to the 30 I was just fighting.
This is so much easier than
And I was like, wow.
Oh, damn it. I didn't realize what I did wrong. It didn't actually have to come this way.
No, wait, go back. Hit it with the boomerang, right? Is that what you need?
Oh, I guess that's not what I was...
Oh, but then you can't go up. But you can't go through that door.
Okay.
On the side.
I had completely forgot those were the things that changed that.
Yeah, and as long as you hit them with an item. But it was at that moment I learned that renegade options didn't always have to be a bad option.
Yeah.
Sometimes they were just fun. So I started playing the game mostly Paragon and then Renegade where it fit, right? And so what I did was there was another choice in the game where... Glad you figured that out. There was another choice in the game, and this was in Mass Effect 3, so one of your allies gets killed by the assassin in the game. And you fight the assassin, and you're supposed to kill the assassin when you beat them, because they're a full-on racist dick. And so I go and I defeat the bad guy, right? I defeat the assassin. I'm waiting. I'll finish the story in a second. I want to see how long this takes you. I'm very curious. This is riveting. You better not leave. You cannot leave this room till you figure this out. Or die. Because apparently you keep getting hit. Well, there you go. You're dead.
Yeah.
You had everything you needed for that room. So he kills your friend. And you can do the Paragon thing, and it's you kill them, and you're that was for blah blah blah. And that's the end of it. That it's kind of just man, you kill them and they're dead. I picked the Renegade because I liked the guy, and he killed him. So I was getting my revenge on him. And so, of course, in Mass Effect, you have the energy gauntlet thingy that you can now use as a knife too. And so, in my fight, I do it and I pick Renegade, and Shepard, she grabs him, stabs him in the back, and holds him from behind and goes, "That's for blah blah, you son of a bitch." And I was like, yeah! I felt so gratified. And, for what anyone says about the Mass Effect games or the Dragon Age games, as far as the endings go, the journey there was great, because it was that was one of those moments. I'm playing this game and I felt like the most badass sci-fi hero. I had created an epic story for myself. It was great. Yeah, it was a good time. I liked it a lot. We might have to get you to sit down and play through them.
Yeah, eventually.
Eventually. You don't have to play Andromeda. I hear Andromeda sucks. I played the first few hours of it, and it's essentially just Mass Effect 1 again.
Yeah, I've heard mixed. I've heard some people that really like it, and others that just...
I think it gets more crap than a lot of people should be giving it. Like, it's obviously not great
Yeah.
for most people. Some people, if you think it's great and you love it, good for you. But for some people, it's not the great game. But I think people give it too much crap. A lot of people give games too much crap if it doesn't meet their immediate expectations.
Yeah.
I look at Andromeda as more of a misstep in the franchise, and unfortunately, people look at a misstep in the gaming community and immediately claim that the franchise is dead.
Yeah.
Or they claim that the franchise will never recover. Like, every game series has a misstep. Every game series has bad games.
Yeah, and if the company really wants to make it work, they can. Just look at God of War.
Yeah, God of War is a great example. God of War 1 through 3 was a lot of fun. The PSP games were fun. Ascension was a huge misstep. And they came back swinging with PS4 God of War, and it's phenomenal.
Yeah, the main thing was they took some time off, like they reevaluated things, decided, okay, this is what we're gonna do.
Brought in Cory Barlog, and
yeah, it worked. Like they kind of decided we're not just gonna try to make a game that's the exact same as what we've already done.
yeah, I mean, look at Devil May Cry 5, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people would say that 2 was a misstep, because it was. A lot of people would argue even 4 potentially was a misstep. I liked 4, but it's not great. I mean, half the game is literally playing through the game again in reverse order.
Yeah.
So, like, it's not a perfect game. It's a passable game at best. So 2 and 4 people look at as missteps. 5 is great. And had they not hell, DMC, the reboot, people looked at that as a misstep. I liked it, but people looked at it as a misstep. And if Capcom was just like, well, the franchise is done, they didn't like 4, they didn't like DMC, there's nothing for us to do anymore.
Yeah.
We never would have gotten Dragon Ball Z. Never would have gotten Devil May Cry 5, which 5 was great.
Yeah.
You can point to any franchise about that. Zelda has had a couple of missteps. I mean, we don't even talk about the CDI games.
Yeah, that's just what happens if you try to make like that many.
It's gonna happen. You got the compass vagina. Woo!
Like, there's only so many variations of a game you can make before people start to say, like, this is getting old, or this isn't what it used to be. And...
well, it's the same with movies, too. People often claim, like, if a movie has a bad entry, the franchise is dead. I'm like, no, the franchise isn't dead. There wasn't a movie you liked. Like, people claiming Star Wars was dead after The Last Jedi. I liked Solo. Solo was great. There were things I both liked and hated about The Last Jedi, but it's a misstep in a franchise. It's never going to be perfect. And a misstep doesn't mean it's bad. It just means that it wasn't the best.
Yeah.
And it's never always going to be the best. I mean, we talked about this in the Spider-Man videos with the Marvel movies.
Yeah. Which is kind of how I feel, just period, with like the Star Wars and Marvel's films at the moment is... there's just... the biggest issue for me is just there's so many of them just back to back.
It's a bit oversaturation for you?
Yeah, it's like eventually it's kind of like you want a bit of a break from it to kind of get some of that excitement as opposed to, we'll wait this little bit of time and there's a new one and then a new one and...
well, and so I think, that's why it's a good thing they're... Marvel I can see that with, but the way that Marvel works is that's what they're going to be doing.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
that's their game
that's,
plan.
Like, that's... plus, I mean, that's just who they are. Like,
yeah, like they release X amount of movies to build up this franchise every year, and it keeps making money. Star Wars, I can see the appeal more of making a break, like taking a break for it. And I think Disney Plus will help that out a lot because they're taking a break from the anthology films, and it looks like rather than making anthology films, they're going to be making the Disney Plus stuff as anthology. Because, like, The Mandalorian comes out in November, which looks great. And Obi-Wan comes out sometime soon, and then there's a Cassian Anders, the guy from Rogue One, the Hispanic guy. He's getting his own series all on Disney Plus, and I think it'll work better than having it be movies all the time because it's like, oh well, we've got the show, and we've got the movies, and it won't feel as much of an oversaturation, I guess, because you don't have to absorb the movies to necessarily absorb.
yeah,
The shows and vice versa. But like Marvel, it feels like you have to watch everything.
Yeah. Because especially, when you're trying to connect everything, like, now it's no longer like, it's like, well, if you don't like this superhero, like, don't watch it. Or if you're not really in, it's like now they want all of it to tie in. Or it's like, you'll have superheroes, like, cameoing, like, in other films. And
I mean, they just announced yesterday, because D23 Expo is this weekend. They just announced yesterday that Kat Dennings and Raymond Park, Kat Dennings was in the Thor movies, and Raymond Park was in the Ant-Man movies. They're going to be in the WandaVision show. So it's like these characters are now, they're all over the place. They're jumping from thing to thing to thing. They announced She-Hulk, and I'm sitting here asking, is Mark Ruffalo going to be in it? Because She-Hulk is Bruce Banner's cousin. And so I'm like, is he going to like get his cousin turned into? Are they going to bring back the leader from? Like, I'm asking all these different questions. And while I enjoy that because I love comic books, for like people who aren't too big into comic books, they're really only into the movies or this or that, it might be too much. It is that oversaturation. But I don't know. We can keep talking about this. We do have to stop this episode so we can pick. Oh, perfect death. Perfect timing. We'll pick this conversation up in the next episode because I do have some thoughts on Star Wars and I like talking about Star Wars. So. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully David can finish this off in the next episode. And we'll see you there.
Bye.
Bye.